Hello dear students, we proceed with the vector space topic, right? Yesterday we have defined a field, defined an integral domain, defined a field. We just look into two definitions at least of yesterday's. What is an integral domain? What is an integral domain and what is a field? Right? Integral domain R is a commutative ring. It's a commutative ring without zero divisors. Okay. Commutative ring without zero divisor is called an integral domain. Example ಯಾವ್ದು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ರಿ? Set of all integers under addition and multiplication. It is an integral domain. Rationals under addition and multiplication. Reals under addition and multiplication and complex numbers under addition and multiplication. These are all integral domains. They are without zero divisors. What do you mean by zero divisor? A ring is said to be a ring with zero divisor. Ring with zero divisor when? A ring is said to be ring with zero divisor if for a comma b belongs to R with a not equal to 0, b not equal to 0, but a into b is 0. A non-zero value divides 0. So a is a zero divisor, b is also a zero divisor. A and b are not equal to 0, their product is 0. Then a is a zero divisor. Set of all integers, a ring of integers, is without zero divisor. You know that product of two non-zero integer is never 0. Right? Product of two non-zero integer is never 0. It is without zero divisor. A ring is without zero divisor when if a not equal to 0, b not equal to 0, then a into b should not be 0. Idu ondu. Or this is a condition I am putting for ring without zero divisor. Or whenever ab is 0, either a0 or b0. This is a condition for ring without zero divisor. So integral domain is a commutative ring without zero divisor. Ring of integer is a popular example you need to repeat and remember. Okay? Fine. What is a field? Right? A field is a commutative ring. A field is a commutative ring with unity. In which for every non-zero element, the multiplicative inverse of the element exists in R. What's a field? It's a commutative ring with unity in which every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. Example of a field: rationals under addition and multiplication, reals under addition and multiplication, complex numbers under addition and multiplication. These are all fields. Fine. These are all fields where in which multiplicative inverse exists for every non-zero element. Okay. Fine. What about ring of integers? Ring of integers is not a field. We have studied yesterday. Why it is not a field? Every non-zero integer does not have multiplicative inverse. Right? Does not have multiplicative inverse. For example, 5 ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ 5 multiplicative inverse does not exist in Z. 5 into 1 by 5 is 1. But 1 by 5 is not an integer. Except for plus 1 and minus 1. Plus 1 is, for plus 1 multiplicative inverse is 1. 1 into 1 is 1. Right? And minus 1 into minus 1 is 1. Multiplicative inverse exists for 1 and minus 1, but not for any other integer. Therefore, Z under addition and multiplication is not a field. If you take Z7, this you studied yesterday. Z7 under addition mod 7, multiplication mod 7 is a field because every non-zero member of Z7 has got multiplicative inverse. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ನಾವು ನಿನ್ನೆ ಸ್ಟಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. In the last class we have studied till here. Today, take the question, an example, where we are going to prove that you said Z7 is a field ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. Z7 is a field. ಇದನ್ನು ಜನರಲೈಸ್ ಮಾಡುವ. Take ZP. Here 7 is a prime number. ZP ಅಲ್ಲಿ P is a prime. If you take P is a prime, any ZP where P is a prime, right, is a field. It is a field. We want to prove that it is a field. How to prove that ZP is a field? ZP ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಂತ set of integers modulo P. 0 bar, 1 bar, 2 bar, up to where? Up to P minus 1 bar. P ಇದ್ರೆ P ಇಂದ ಒಂದು ಚಿಕ್ಕದಿರಬೇಕು, P minus 1. So these are the residue class modulo P, right? We would like to show that it is a field by proving that for every non-zero member of ZP, multiplicative inverse exists. For each non-zero element here, multiplicative inverse exists. ಇದು ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟನ್ನು ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡೋದಲ್ಲ. Take an arbitrary element and check, that's all. If it works for an arbitrary element which is chosen at random, it works for every other element. Fine? Okay. So, under ZP, I take any element, say A bar. Right? You take an element A bar which is not equal to 0 bar, where A bar belongs to ZP, set of integers modulo P. So you are picking a non-zero member of this set. Okay. You ask a question, right? Whether A bar can divide P. Whether A bar can divide P or P divide A bar. Right? Whether A bar can divide P or P divides A bar. Fine? Neither A bar can divide P nor P divides A bar because P is a prime. P is a prime, its only divisors are plus or minus 1 and plus or minus P. Right? P cannot divide A bar because A bar is a member here. What is the largest possible value of A bar? Largest possible value of A bar is P minus 1. P minus 1 is smaller than P. So P cannot divide a smaller value. So neither P divides A bar nor A bar divides P because P is a prime. P cannot divide A bar because A bar the maximum value P minus 1. P cannot divide a smaller value, right? Therefore, what is the GCD of A bar and P? What is the GCD of A bar and P? It is 1. Greatest common divisor is 1. Okay, greatest common divisor is 1. GCD of A bar and P is 1 because neither P divides A bar nor A bar divides P. Okay. You have studied the result in number theory last year. If GCD of A and B is D, then D can be written as a linear combination of the two ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. Lambda A plus mu B, where lambda and mu are numbers. Right? Lambda and mu are numbers. GCD D can be written as a linear combination of the two integers, lambda A plus mu B. Here 1 is a GCD. So 1 can be written how? Since 1 is a GCD, 1 can be written as a linear combination of these two. Lambda A bar plus mu into P. Fine? What are lambda and mu? Lambda and mu are integers. Fine? Okay. You take a particular value of mu. You take mu is equal to 0. If you take mu is equal to 0, this becomes 1 equal to lambda into A bar. Right? For mu is equal to 0. That is lambda into A bar is equal to 1. An element and its inverse. Element and its inverse is identity. Right? This is nothing but saying that A bar has got multiplicative inverse. A bar has a multiplicative inverse. Fine? Multiplicative inverse. What is A bar? A bar is any non-zero member of ZP. Any is arbitrary. Right? If you take an arbitrary member, it could be the first member or the second member or the last member. Right? But then every member of ZP, every non-zero member of ZP has got multiplicative inverse and hence ZP is a field. Zp is a field. See, whenever the suffix is a prime number, Zp is a field. Z5 is a field. Z7, 7 is a prime, it's a field. Right? 7 is a field, that's 7. Or think of any other larger prime number, Z11, Z13, Z79, right? Z17. These are all fields because suffix is a prime number. Okay? How to show that Zp is a field? You have to for proving that Zp is a field, you have to show that for every non-zero member of Zp, there is a multiplicative inverse in the ಹೇಳಬೇಕು. You take a non-zero member of Zp, right? Say a bar not equal to 0 bar in Zp, a bar belongs to Zp. What is your claim? P cannot divide a bar because a bar is one of the member here. What is the largest value? P minus 1. So P cannot divide smaller values like 1, 2, 3 up to P minus 1. That is one thing. And a bar cannot divide P also because P is a prime. Its only divisors are plus or minus 1 and plus or minus P. Therefore, neither a bar divides P nor P divides a bar. Therefore, greatest common divisor of a bar and P is 1. GCD is 1. We have studied in number theory that whenever the GCD of two integers d can be written as the linear combination of two integers, lambda a plus mu b, where lambda and mu are integers. Okay? So, 1 is a GCD, 1 is expressed as a linear combination of this x1a plus x2p, lambda a bar plus mu p, etc. Okay? You are writing GCD as a linear combination of two given integers. For a particular value of mu, say mu is equal to 0, you are getting lambda a bar equal to 1. Okay? This is nothing but saying that lambda is the inverse of a bar. A bar is the inverse of a bar and lambda are inverses of each other because their product is 1. So lambda is the inverse of a bar. What is a bar? A bar is a non-zero member here. Any non-zero member has got multiplicative inverse. Therefore, Zp is a field. Okay? Zp is a field. Okay. Next, for any prime number, and the suffix is any prime number, Zp is a field. Sometimes we write it as a Jp also. Jp or Zp, two notations are there. It's a field and P is a prime number. Okay, fine. Okay. We will make some more definition today. One is regular element, or make a correction, division ring or skew field. Small little definitions. Skew field. Field you have studied. It is skew field. Skew field is also called division ring. Okay. What is a division ring? What is the difference between field and skew field? Field and skew field. Just look at two things here. Skew field is also called division ring. What is the difference between field and skew field? ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಕಾಮಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ರಿಂಗ್ with unity, one presence of one is there, in which for every non-zero member A inverse exists. ಇದು ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ. ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ಗೆ ಡಿಫ್ರೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ರೈಟ್, ಕಾಮಿಟೇಟಿವಿಟಿ is just excluded. Commutativity is not considered. Fine. A ring with unit element. Skew field is a ring with unity. Fine. Ring with unity. In which every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. Fine. So every field is a skew field. But every skew field need not be a field. Okay. Every field is a skew field but not conversely. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಇದು ಕಾಮಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ರಿಂಗ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎ ಕಾಮಿಟೇಟಿವ್ ರಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ಯೂನಿಟಿ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇಫ್ ಎ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಿಸ್ಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ನಾನ್ ಝೀರೋ ಎ. ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಡೆಫಿನೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಮಿಟೇಟಿವಿಟಿ ನಾವು ಮಿಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೇವೆ. ವಿ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಔಟ್ ಕಾಮಿಟೇಟಿವಿಟಿ ಹಿಯರ್. It's a ring with unit element in which every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. ಇದು ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಆಯಿತು, ಇದು ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಓಕೆ, fine. We'll make one more definition, that is a regular element. Once again, skew field is also called division ring. It's called division ring. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೀವು ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟಿವ್ ಇನ್ವರ್ಸ್ ಹೇಳುವಾಗ ಅದರ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಆಲ್ರೆಡಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈಡ್. ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಫೀಲ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಪುಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ದಿಸ್. ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಅಥವಾ ಡಿವಿಷನ್ ರಿಂಗಿಗೆ ರೈಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಟಿವ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್. ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ಸ್ ಎ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಅಂಡರ್ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಪರೇಷನ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ಬೋದು. ಅಥವಾ ಮಲ್ಟಿಪ್ಲಿಕೇಶನ್ ಆಪರೇಷನಲ್ಲಿ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಮಾಡುವಾಗ ಕ್ಲೋಜರ್ ಲಾ, ಅಸೋಸಿಯೇಟಿವ್ ಲಾ, ಐಡೆಂಟಿಟಿ ಲಾ ಆರ್ ಆಬ್ವಿಯಸ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಯಾಟಿಸ್ಫೈಡ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಒನ್ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್. And therefore, in our definition, we are mentioning only inverse law. We are mentioning only multiplicative inverse here. We are speaking about multiplicative inverse only because other properties are satisfied. I repeat, a division ring or skew field is a multiplicative group. It's a multiplicative group. Or in other words, a skew field is a ring. A division ring is a ring with unity in which every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. ಫೀಲ್ಡಿಗೆ ಬರುವಾಗ ಕಾಮಿಟೇಟಿವಿಟಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಎವ್ರಿ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ಸ್ಕ್ಯೂ ಫೀಲ್ಡ್ ಬಟ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕಾನ್ವರ್ಸ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆನಾ, ಫೈನ್. ಈಗ ನೋಡಿ, ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅದರ್ವೈಸ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಅಂತ. ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ ಅಂತ. ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್ ಆರ್ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಆರ್. ವೆನ್ ಡಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಎ ಬಿಲಾಂಗ್ಸ್ ಟು ಆರ್ ಎಸ್ ಎ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್, if there exists B belongs to R such that A into B is equal to 1. ಈ ರೆಗ್ಯುಲರ್ ಎಲಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಈ ಥರ, ಇಫ್ A is a regular element, if A into B equal to 1, that means B is the multiplicative inverse of A. B is the multiplicative inverse of A. It's fine. An element A belongs to R is a regular element if its multiplicative inverse exists in R. You note the difference between regular element and regular element, or it is a unit in R anta idu, and here it is unit element or identity element. Unit element or identity element andre you already defined. A ring is said to be ring with unity. Yavaga ring with unity andre presence of one, that's all. There is a presence of one belongs to R, such that A into 1 equal to 1 into A is equal to A for every A belongs to R. This is ring with the unit element or ring with unity or ring with the identity element. ಅಂದರೆ ಇದು presence of one with this property. But regular element ಅಂದರೆ ಹಾಗಲ್ಲ. Regular element is an element whose multiplicative inverse also exists in R. A belongs to R is said to be a regular element of R, regular element or unit. Unit ಮತ್ತು unit element are different. Unit in R is an element of R for which there exists some B belongs to R such that A into B equal to 1. ಅಂದರೆ B is the multiplicative inverse of A. Fine. So please don't confuse between unity and unit. Unit in R is regular element. Unit in R is regular element in R. Whereas unity is nothing but presence of the element 1 belongs to R. Okay, la? Right? In a skew, what happens in a field or skew field? In a field, every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. La? In a skew field, every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. Field kuda same. Therefore, every element of a skew field or a field is a regular element. Every element of a skew field or a field is a regular element because in these two rings every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. Okay, so this is one of the observations you have to make immediately. Every element of a skew field or a field is a regular element because every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse, whether it is in skew field or it is in a field. Can you now tell me a precise answer from you? I need Z under addition and multiplication is a ring. Not only a ring, it's a commutative ring. It's a commutative ring. It is not only commutative ring, It is a commutative ring with unity. Unity is also there. So Z under addition and multiplication is a commutative ring with unity. ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಅಲ್ಲ, it is free of zero divisor. Free of zero divisor ಅಂದರೆ there is no zero divisors in this set. Free of zero divisor. There is no zero divisor. No zero divisor ಅಂದರೆ it is an integral domain. It is an integral domain. Z is an integral domain. And you also observed that Z is not a field ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರಿ. Why Z is not a field? It is not a field because other than minus 1 and plus 1, except minus 1 and plus 1, no other integer has got multiplicative, no other integer has got multiplicative inverse. 5 ಗೆ 1 by 5 ಇಲ್ಲ, inverse ಇಲ್ಲ. 100 ಗೆ 1, there is no multiplicative inverse. 1 by 100 is not an integer. Except minus 1 and 1, no other integer has got multiplicative inverse. Therefore, it is not a field ಅಂತ ನಾವು ಪುನಃ ರಿಪೀಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೇವೆ. Now we ask the question, what are the regular elements of Z? There are only two elements whose multiplicative inverse exist, namely minus 1 and plus 1. So we have only two regular elements. Right? Z under addition and multiplication alli, in the ring of integer we have only two regular elements that are minus 1 and plus 1. Okay? What about in Zn, set of integers modulo n? Right? Zn ಅಂದರೆ residue class modulo n or set of integers modulo n containing 0 bar, 1 bar, 2 bar, etc. n minus 1 bar. These are the members here. What are the regular elements? They are the prime residue class modulo n. Prime residue class modulo n. Right? Fine. Because when n is a prime, ZP is a field. When n is a prime, Zn is a field. You have studied ZP is a field. Prime number ಇರುವಾಗ ZP is a field. Field ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು advantage? Every non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. So when n is equal to suffix is a prime number, right? Then the regular elements are each of non-zero element going to be regular elements. Right? When n equal to p, n is a prime number, Zp is a field. Field under a non-zero element has got multiplicative inverse. Okay, every non-zero element is going to have multiplicative inverse, and they are going to be regular elements provided the suffix n is a prime number. Suffix n is a prime. Is all it? Since again I repeat, it is a modern algebra topic, it is an abstract topic, right? For small volume of syllabus, we are taking much time here. We are almost heading towards 30 minutes, right? Therefore, I am stopping with this discussion. We have some more examples to be added for regular elements. Then we have some 2-3 small but important theorems to be proved. All this we will have to take up only in the next session because we cannot make the videos very lengthy. We have to make it within 20-25 minutes. However, the shorter the video, you can make it very, very thorough. The topic you can make very, very thorough. When the video is shorter, the lessons discussed is of smaller duration. Okay? So take care. So I am going to send this video today and also the related notes. Please study today itself. Okay? Don't delay, don't keep it for tomorrow, don't hesitate, don't neglect. You'll have to take your studies seriously because online classes are going to be inevitable for you this year. Okay, thank you.